Hey, thank you guys for tuning in for another interview with King Solomon Entertainment Company, KS News, where we bring you the latest in education, empowerment, awareness, the latest information, the best information that we could possibly give to you. Thank you guys so much. And we couldn't do what we do without our partners. Thank our partners and our sponsors, heart2heartforyou.org. We thank the Dr. Moreland Greenwood Foundation. We thank Dr. Hester for Pioneer Credit and his credit restoration. And we thank the USC Black Alumni Association. If you reach out to them guys and let them guys know you heard on this platform, they give you the King Solomon discount. So let them know. And if you yourself wish to partner with us and sponsor with us, please reach us on KingSolomonEntertainment.tv and we can connect with you and we'll let you know how you can do it. We want to thank all of our everybody who subscribed. The flow has been really great. Thank you for your subscriptions and comment and share. Share these videos and as we continue to bring you great content.
Yes, indeed.
KS News, and it's with our friend to the show.
Philly Dom. Yeah, what's up, guys? This is the one and only Philly Dom, and we out here, and I'm out here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and I'm a YouTuber. And today we're gonna talk about travel expenses. We're gonna talk about travel expenses, and when you go to travel, different things happen. Um, Man, you never know what's gonna happen on the road, so you always gotta have that extra bit of money just for travel expenses. So when you travel, you put that to the side, man, because you could lose your credit card, you could lose your debit card, you could get robbed, you can man, so much things can happen, man. So you always gotta have extra money and extra things on the side to keep you going when you're traveling. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the list a little bit. King Solomon be back. We have internet problems here and there, but he should be back online any minute. But I'm gonna keep going on with the show without him until he gets back online. So yeah, man, when you travel, man, guys, you got a lot of problems, man. So wow, man, where can I start? A big issue that happens when you're on the road when you travel, because I'm a travel YouTuber. You always got to have a emergency expenses. You need emergency expenses. Let me tell you why you need emergency expenses, because anything and everything can go wrong when you're on the road and when you're traveling. Passport, what's up, man? I see you joined. Then Matter Die, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going? Let me give you the first one, man. And, one that's really important is emergency expenses. Emergency expenses, unfortunately, like unplanned expenses, like I said, it could rise when you're on vacation, which is why it's important to leave a wiggle room in your budget for these costs. A wiggle room in your budget for these costs, man. And emergency expenses can include like anything, like an injury that occur while you're traveling, missing your flight, you got to get a new flight, have to book different accommodations because you were unhappy with the original accommodations, and so many different things, guys. I'm for real. So many different things go into that. So many different things. What's they saying? Let's see. Live viewer comment show showing up on StreamYard. This is example. Tap on a comment. Okay. To show it on the screen. Yeah, I put it on the comment now. But yeah, any and everything can go wrong, guys. Anything and everything could go wrong, man. So you got to have emergency expenses. You got to have some money tucked away just for a rainy day when you're on the road. You got to have some emergency expenses. I'll see what else I could say. Also, foreign transactions, man. Foreign transaction fees. If you're traveling abroad, you most likely will encounter foreign transaction fees. With your credit cards and your ATM when you go to the ATM machine, or when you go to the ATM machine to take money out. like I'm in the DR right now. So example is when I use my card in the DR, I think they charge me like $2 or $3 in the DR, and then the US charges me like $5, $6 to use the ATM. So when I really go to the ATM, I try to take a lot of money so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the ATM. And this is why I recommend using cards that has no foreign transaction fee. So you can actually get cards. I didn't do it, but I'm telling people that's traveling so you can do it. You can actually get foreign cards with no transaction fees. I see you guys watching on Instagram. It's also important, and in YouTube, I see you guys watching, to call your bank. Yeah, you want to call your bank. You want to call them prior to you going on a trip. This will ensure that you won't, trust me, that you won't run into any problems when using your card because your card can get locked on you and you have to call the company. A lot of different things that happen. A lot of different things. A lot of different things happen when you're traveling on the road. A lot of different things happen when you're on the road. A lot of different things happen when you're on the road. So I was giving them the rundown, man. I was giving them the rundown. Y'all can
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me?
I was giving them the rundown.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. So sorry about that. I'm so sorry about the internet just went out, and
Yeah,
we still gonna upload this. We're gonna keep going.
yeah, we kept
And we
going.
did. Thank you so much, Philly Down, for stepping in. Your brother did a wonderful job. But
Yeah,
this interview was pretty much about expenses everybody should know when traveling. And
okay.
I want to thank my co-host, friend to the show, Philly Down, the traveling blogger. That's just why he is a regular on here. We do wonderful things together, and it's all about empowering you because everybody's getting ready to take those trips, and you want to travel, you want to see different places you've never seen before. Now is the time. And here is the traveling blogger, YouTuber that's going to give you that insight. Travel all over the world. And so tonight's topic is expenses. Everyone should know about when they're traveling. So let's tackle one of the things on the list right now, Philly. What's one of the things you should know when you travel as far
Yeah,
as
well, the
expenses?
one most important thing is emergency expenses. I talked about that when you went down, but I'll bring it
Emergency
back up.
expenses.
Emergency
Okay.
expenses. Emergency expenses. Unfortunately, when it's unplanned, like when you travel, you have these expenses that come out of nowhere, which is why it's important for you to like leave room, like some kind of wiggle room in your budget for these type of things to happen. And like example of that would be getting an injury, like while traveling, and now you got to use insurance. Remember I was talking about that the other day, or you can miss your flight and you have to pay for another flight, or you could have
Okay.
having to book a different accommodation because say you booked a hotel or something or Airbnb, you ain't really comfortable with that Airbnb, so you got to switch it. So you always want to have some wiggle room or some money stashed on the side. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
You want to have some money
Okay.
stashed on the side. You know them tough times, man.
So
Quiz us up, brother.
what about expenses uh let's talk about some of the hidden expenses like when you go to the airport and you
Uh,
mistake a carry-on and one bag.
yeah, that's a hidden expense. Yeah, I can tell you about that, man. It's a lot of hidden expenses. Like you have hidden expenses like the hotels, even with the resorts. You just like say for example, you just booked a fun trip to Vegas. That's an example. But did you remember to include the hotel deal, like resources? What is it? A resource fee. They have these hidden costs in there.
Resort
Yeah,
fees.
resort fees. People don't calculate stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of hotels tax on resource fee, which can add, when that add, man, it can add like $25 to $50 plus to the cost of your nightly rate. And a lot of people don't add that on to there.
Yep.
So it's important to know, like
And
you said, and then bag fees when you go to each airline has a different rule about how much a bag should weigh, how much it shouldn't, and how much they can charge you. You know what I mean? They can charge you 20, 30, 40, $50 more that you wasn't expecting to be charged
yep.
for. You
Yep.
always got to be on point. You
Absolutely.
always
Absolutely.
be on point with that.
Yep. Yep. And
You
so
always
yeah,
gotta
so
be on-
that's something to keep in mind, everybody, with when traveling. You want to definitely have extra money for hidden fees. and travel expenses that you may not know that occur, even when traveling locally, as far as
Yes.
transportation. Do you what is the best route to take? Because I know sometimes I do both. I do train, I do buses, I do Uber, I do Lyft. I do what makes sense when I travel, you know. And
Uh-huh.
so, what do you advise when traveling?
Take Uber. Uber is very cheap. Take
Okay.
Uber, take taxis, take buses when you go where you gotta go. But yeah,
Yes.
Uber, taxi, or bus. It depends on because everybody's a different type of traveler. So it depends on what type of traveler
Yes.
you save money, take
Yeah.
buses, take Uber, take taxis. It definitely but it's still a cost. Like when you're dealing with transportation costs, like taxis and transportation and Uber, I mean it's still gonna cost you a little bit of money. Like okay, when I'll give you an example. When I went to New York, I was planning on taking public transportation to get me to my hotel. One of my times going to New York on vacation. However, the flight that I had was delayed by like almost 9 hours. I was in LA and I was trying to make my way to New York, and the flight was delayed by 9 hours. Something happened with the plane.
Mm,
So we arrived late at night. My friend arrived late at night, and we had to take a taxi to a hotel instead. Cause we had some kind of reservation fees for somebody to pick us up, but we didn't know when we was gonna come, and we came at a weird time.
mm,
So
mm.
the plan can change. Like you already have what you think is the right thing you want to do, but the plan can change. But you can sort of keep it a little simple if you use taxis and Uber. And
Yeah.
it's always good to have some kind of extra cash on you to cover these expenses because we were supposed to get picked up by the airport, but we came in at a funny time, so we just end up. And it was like it was a winter time at that time, so we was trying to just get to the hotel fast as we can because now in the hotel we'd had to wait for the hotel to call them to come to the airport to pick us up. So we took a taxi. So that was like extra fees, but you can get taxis and Ubers. It's pretty affordable.
No,
And
that
buses.
was it's interesting you would bring it was interesting that you would bring that up because when I went to Miami, you know, the
Yeah.
hotel that I stayed at had charter service from the airport to the
Uh
hotel.
huh.
And so but they have a schedule, certain times, certain days, they run
Yeah, man.
every hour. And so if you don't want to wait, then
Yeah.
take the next thing smoking. But if you don't mind the wait, or if they stop running,
Uh huh.
you have to be aware of all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was very interesting that you would say that because I learned that the hard way in my I'm like, what's going on here? We at the
Uh huh.
airport just posted, like, what is going on? What is trying to
Wow.
what is bus at? So definitely definitely be aware of all these things. This is so good because when people travel, you have to be aware of all these things. Well, give us another nugget on that list. What's on the list?
Yeah, I got more stuff, man. Because I travel a lot. You got foreign transaction fees especially when you travel abroad, man. Okay, if you travel abroad, right? You most likely will like encounter foreign transaction fees from when you use your credit card or your debit card at the ATM machine. These fees can quickly add up. People don't realize that these fees can quickly add up on your card because you get a fee from their bank when you pull money out, right? And then you get a fee from the United States from the
Yes.
bank you bank at United States, and those fees can add up. So if you traveling on like a budget, this could be a problem, man, because each penny count for your trip. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be out
Yeah.
after a while. You're like, hey, I didn't pour this much money out. They add up. They add up, man. They add up.
Yeah.
They add
Absolutely.
up. You know what I mean? So your credit cards and your debit cards pulling money out. It's better just to pull a whole bunch of money out at one time, so you don't have to keep going back and forth on it. It's better to do it that way. I would tell anybody it's better to do it that way, so you don't have to keep going. Because every time you go, that's a transaction on the
Yeah.
the the bank in the country you're in. They get money from you, and then the U.S. bank that you're banking with also gets money with you as well. Another example. I got so many
Yeah.
examples, man. I'll give you more examples. Another example is spontaneous travel activities. When I say spontaneous, like, man, when you travel, man, you never know, man. You could just be hanging in your hotel room or your hostel, and some people are like, let's go out to drink. So you wasn't expecting to go out drink or eat at that time. So now you're spending more money. And especially, the different destinations, man. You never know, man. You never know. So you always gotta have an extra money for spontaneous travel activities. It don't
Yes.
have to be drinking. It could be somebody want to take you to a park. Somebody wants to take you to some kind of museum, and you didn't really have this in a budget. But now, but now you have to do it because you promised that person you go. So now
Yeah.
you into your budget a little bit more. It happened to me. A good example. It happened to me last week. I had my friend come from Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and I mean he took care of most of the cost of everything, but I still spend a little bit more, a lot
Than
more
what
money
you
than
than you. Yeah.
I would usually spend. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what I call spontaneous travel activities.
Yeah.
I spend a
Yes.
little more than I usually would because I can budget myself out for a week or 7 days down here in the DR. But that spontaneous, he wanted to go here, he wanted to do this, he wanted to do that, and I spent a little bit more money. It
Yeah. Because
was
you don't
better
want
to
to
be
be
like,
that. You don't
what
want
you
to be
say?
that boring. You don't want to be that boring killjoy tag along friend that don't want
Yeah,
to do nothing, and then it's like, oh, you come on, So yeah.
yeah, and he came so far to see me, all the way from Phoenix,
Yeah.
Arizona. That's
Yeah.
not around the corner. Phoenix, Arizona is not around the corner, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I spent a little bit more than I should have spent.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we got so many costs, man. There's another one I could give you guys would be food and drinks. Food and
Yes.
drinks, man. That's a big cost, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like let me give you an example. Food and drinks costs are obviously part of your travel budget. It is a part of your travel budget.
Yes. If
However,
you're drinking.
sometimes if you're like eating out for
Yes.
3 meals a day plus snacks, it can add up quickly, man. This can add up quickly.
If
You
I
might
could
say,
if I could interject 1 second about the food and beverage, and
not a
because
problem.
and if you are a drinker, of course you have to also please up your Lyft and Uber budget because you want to drink responsibly and you want to eat responsibly. But I also want to say,
You're right.
and I want to say this, Dom. I want to say this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can call ahead because they have, and I learned this because I'm not a drinker, but I learned this. They have the drink packages. You can get
Okay.
the drink packages. So
Okay.
when we tried, my friend got drink packages. They got a lot of drinks for a good deal. Man, they was lit. So you can get the drink
Yeah.
packages too. But don't forget
Oh,
the
I ain't
Uber and
know
Lyft.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some places you go get
Wow.
drink packages. Yeah. So
See, that's
and
something I
also
learned today.
yeah.
Wow.
So when you
Drink
travel,
pack.
a lot of time the cruises have it, but sometimes the hotels have it as well. So
Oh, okay. The
yeah, yeah.
drink package. Wow.
Drink packages. Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
very interesting. The drinkers would know that, but we don't. So I didn't know.
The drink package. That's all right.
Yes. Yeah. So what else on the list, Don?
I got what is it? What do you call it? Vaccinations and medications. Some of the countries that you go to are required. They require proof that you have received vaccinations before allowing you to enter the country. So you may also want to get some vaccination, the different shots. Or I'll give you an example, man. I was in El Salvador like 2 years ago, 2018, and I wanted to go to Panama and Costa Rica. And they informed me that I had to get a yellow fever shot to get on some bus to go there. So I had to go pay for that. You know what I mean? So that was
Yes.
another hidden cost. I wasn't expecting that. And if you get sick on the road or you take medication and you lose it, you might have to buy some more medication. But some people need medications to survive. So,
Yes.
vaccinations is important because when I went to El Salvador, I had to get the vaccination in El Salvador just to go to Costa Rica and Panama. And then
Yes.
medication is important too, man. You never know. Some people might need medication. People lose that have lost their pills or whatever, and then they got to go to the pharmacy and buy some more medicine because they have a condition that they need to take medicine. So it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky situation.
Yes. Okay. So for sure. So definitely, guys, keep in mind about the extra hidden expenses and expenses in all when traveling. A
Yeah.
lot of things are expected, but a lot of things are unexpected. All the hidden fees, the
Uh,
credit card requirements, bag packaging handling, and extra baggage, and or if you didn't comprehend like what a package means, because I
uh,
had to confuse with the backpack versus duffel carry on. So make sure
okay.
you definitely know the difference and like what they count as one, what they count as two,
Yes.
because if not, you're going to definitely have additional unexpected hidden fees. And
Yes, you
so
will.
definitely be aware of all these things: resort fees at the hotel, traveling,
Mm.
and local traveling, and the cheapest way to travel when local. And yeah, and so definitely be aware of the tourist areas as well, because they tend to inflate sometime in the tourist areas, certain
Yes,
places where you
indeed.
go. Yes, and so definitely, guys, when traveling, and we're going to log off and come back on, and we're going to probably either finish this or we're going to start another because it's starting to feedback starting to act up a little bit. So we could let's come back on. That's okay, Dom.
Yeah, it's
Come back
okay.
on.
Whatever you want to
Okay,
do.
okay, all right then. So definitely, guys, share this video, like, subscribe, please. The bio gonna be in the link. I'm gonna add the link to all the bios, and definitely subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, James Claybon, and also on Twitter. Please, King Simon Entertainment Company, guys. Share, subscribe. I apologize for the internet acting up. It happens. It happens. So definitely
Yeah, it does.
just
It does.
excited, and we're live. We're gonna continue to bring you great content. So stay tuned. We'll be right back on with another topic or finishing up this one. Thank you guys so
Okay.
much. All right. Thank you, Don.
No problem.